This video is brought to you by Ageless Geeks.
Cowabunga dudes and dudettes, this is Anthony, aka Batbomb82, and today I'll be doing a review of the Super 7 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Ultimates, Raphael. Now I'm so stoked to finally get one of the turtles in my collection, as this toy I've been dying to get my hands on what feels like forever, and it's finally here. But before I crack this thing open, I want to take a closer look at the packaging. Alright, so I just wanted to show off the boxes here because I do love what Super 7 does with these Ultimates figures. So each figure comes with its own unique sewer lid cover, which I think is really cool. So we have an image of Raphael with his big gritting teeth, and then size right there on the side, which I think is really cool. Raphael's name, Super 7 logo. On the back, it just says Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in a really nice embossed, glossy image, so that's really cool too. We can go ahead and slide this lid right off the box there, and bam, there is our Raphael figure, and oh my god, that is beautiful, man. That just looks like a perfect update of that classic toy that I love. Oh my god, so you got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with Raphael right there. Nice green brick pattern for the good guys like that, the turtle logo on the back. And we have a short bio for Raphael, so if you want to read that bio, go ahead and pause it now. You can even see a little sewer lid back there, so that's really cool too. Oh man, I kind of regret not getting a second one of all the turtles because these packaging looks so good. The boxes all look great. This big open window. I'm super excited about this, man. This is the toy line I've been waiting for so long for. So now, with him finally in hand, let's go ahead and crack this figure open and see what we have inside. Alright guys, now let's take a closer look at this Super 7 Raphael. Now, I'm going to be straight up with you. I am in love with this action figure. Now, the vintage toy line for the Turtles is literally my favorite toy line of all time. And this updated like Super 7 Ultimates version is my ultimate, no pun intended, dream line. And they're just killing it over there. I am so happy with this. It's beyond words. I feel like I'm going to stutter a lot through this video just because how freaking cool this is. I think this is so awesome. The head sculpt looks great. Again, very much like that vintage figure. And I'll show comparisons here in a little bit. But that looks amazing. A very cool update sculpted by the Four Horsemen, who've done things like the Motu Classics and all that kind of stuff. Just did a great job here. I love how we're getting even like texturing in his bottom shell like this, and you get little scratches and nicks and things like that. But we also do get a nice wash in there, if you can see that. A little bit of like a darker orange in there. Same thing with like the musculature. You guys see the veins and things like that. But there is also a dark dry brush in there too to really make that stand out. So that looks really, really good, man. You got even like these like folds in the skin, like where the knees are and where he would actually like bend and, you know, articulate and things like that. The feet look really good. Love that. Oops. Totally just hit my camera. But even the toes are painted, so that's really cool too. Same thing with the nails on the fingers, like that looks really nice. The shell looks incredible. I love the detail of the shell. It's so sculpted, like the indentation is very deep. It feels like a real shell. I think it looks awesome. But you even see like some scratches and nicks and things like that throughout. So you can obviously see that he's seen some battle. But the belt looks amazing too. Look at the texture of that, like leather-like, how it's kind of worn. There's a bit of a brown wash over the black like that. And then you got like silver, like a really gunmetal silver for the studs and metal parts that hold the belt together. Same thing with the front here. We got the classic R right there, just like the vintage toys. Big bright yellow R right there. But even texturing on the little wraps that where it holsters his size looks incredible, man. I mean, this whole thing just looks so good. I'm really, really digging all the texturing and the detail that we get with this. This is just a really cool toy. So if I actually bring in my vintage Raph here, Now, this is actually the Raphael I've had since I was a kid. This is the one I played with. This exact figure is the one I've had since I was a kid. So this one has been around in my collection for many, many years, and it's seen a lot of wear and love as a kid. So having this in my collection, and then now having this in my collection, is mind-blowing, because you can really see where they were inspired by the vintage toys to give us these updated versions, and I'm so happy with this. This thing looks incredible, and I actually do have all 4 of my original turtles still in my collection that I've had since I was a kid, so I'm very happy about that. But this thing, man, holy crap. I cannot believe what Super7 is doing with these. This is just, in my opinion, the perfect Ninja Turtles toys we can possibly get. I am so stoked with these. Okay, so let's check out his accessories now. So we got things like gripping hands. We got more open palm hands with the fingers a little more flared out for like action type poses. We just got all different kinds of things. We got, different types of gripping hands, just all kinds of stuff that you would need for whatever you want to do with this figure. They're just on standard pegs like so. So let me take that one off right there, and I'm gonna put on, let me see here, just one I'll put on this hand like so, and I'll show you the difference between the 2 types of gripping hands that we have here. So these are 2 completely different styles of gripping hands, and you'll see why shortly. But we also do get things like the throwing stars, the ninja stars, which are really nice. Then the silver, again, came with the vintage figure, so I love that. We also do get size here, which look really cool, that you can holster in the front like this, just like that vintage figure, done in like a gray silverish like plastic with the black handles. Look really nice, so those are really cool. But what's really cool too, we also get these ones that are painted silver, painted like a metallic silver with the black. So like you see, we have the ones casted in like a silver plastic, and the ones that are painted like a metallic silver. I think it's cool that they give us the option. I'm not sure why they went that route. I'm going to choose the metallic silver because I think that looks way better. So I really don't know anybody who's going to use the casted like silver plastic. I don't know, but these look incredible. And again, you can holster them in the front like this, just like that vintage figure. Now, since I said they do have 2 types of gripping hands, this gripping hand is for holding the sai, pretty standard, just like so. You can hold it in like that, which looks really nice, and it holds a nice tight, very nice grip in there. And then this one, if you can see, there's a little bit of a more gapping between the fingers right there. So this one is you can actually pull through like so and hold the sai like that, and that looks awesome, man. I know a lot of you guys like to pose your Raphael with the side going through the fingers like that, which I think is really cool. So I love that they gave us the option to hold it hand just like that, because I think that works great. So I think that just came out really good, and it holds on there nice and tight. It works really well. It's not too hard to get in between the fingers, so I dig that a lot. We also do get things like whatever this weapon was. I remember this coming with a vintage toy. It's just some kind of like weapon, bladed weapon, a cutter, maybe it helps him climb. I don't know, but he can hold it in hand too. Never really knew what that was for, so I guess, yeah, it's some kind of bladed weapon. We also get that big like fisted blade like this, which I always thought was rad too. I think this one's just awesome. You just punch people in the face with this thing. Like, imagine taking that. I think that's really cool too. What's great about this one, it also comes with a holster in the back, just like that vintage figure. You can hold in the back like that. So if you look at the vintage Raph, he holds that in the back like so too. So I think that's really cool how they gave us that. We also get this big hook sword weapon too. Again, came with the vintage figure, but this time it is nicely detailed with a nice wash on the handle, nice silver paint on the metal parts, which looks really cool. I love it. It's kind of pointy too, so be careful. It does stab you a little bit, but that looks killer. We also do get a slice of pizza, of course. So I think all the turtles will come with a slice of pizza. That's really cool too. Nice little pepperoni pizza. I love how the cheese is like dripping off like that. Very nicely detailed, so that's really nice. We also do get the turtle com, which is really cool. So we got this closed version looking really nice. That'd be cool if we could actually hold it somewhere on the figure itself, but it still looks really nice. But then we get an open version like that, what's fully painted, detailed. Nothing's just painted on there. There's all sculpted buttons and things like that. I think that's really cool too. You can get that in like the gripping hands. So if I get this on there like so, and the hands are really nice and pliable, so they're not so stiff, so it shouldn't be too hard to get any of his accessories in the hands. So I think that works out really nice. So I really, really like that. But one of the coolest things is we still get this whole tree of weapons here too, unpainted in more of that vintage like brown color that we saw with like the other weapons from like the original toy line. You get the same fisted blade, that whatever that thing was, the hook sword, the size, the throwing stars, all done in those original like brown like colors, which is really cool. So if you wanted to, you can cut all these off and have him use those vintage color weapons, again, just more like the vintage toys. Now, I personally won't be doing that because I wanted to just display this whole rack side by side with the figure itself, but I think it's pretty cool that we got the options, which means we got 3 versions of the size with this figure. So we got the unpainted brown, the casted in silver, and then the metallic silver painted. So I think it's pretty cool that they give us 3 options for size. They didn't need to do that, but I'm glad they did because that's just really cool to me. So the final accessory is going to be the interchangeable head. So we have this one that's more based on the vintage toy, which I've already shown you. So we can actually pop this off right here. If I actually get it off, and I noticed, that's a pretty tight fit. We can bring this one on, which I love too. If I can get this on, oh my gosh, that's really, really tight like that. There we go. Okay, so what I do like about this, this feels like a more updated version of what that vintage head would look like. So this is more like a classic toy look. This looks like an updated version of this head with more modern sculpting, more modern expressions, a little better detail, which is really cool. So I love the options of having a more updated, which I guess you could call a more classics look, you know what I mean, where it's like classic but updated. That's kind of what this head feels like, where this is straight up more the vintage toy. And I love this one too. I love the teeth. I love the way the eyebrows look, the white painted out eyes like that looks really nice. That bandana flaring in the air, I mean, that looks really cool too. So I love, honestly, both of these head sculpts. They both look really good in my opinion. So I want to go to the vintage toy, but man, I can't deny how awesome this one looks too. They both look really, really good. Okay, so now let's talk articulation here. So the head's on a ball joint, rolls around nice and like that, does turn left and right, up and down, and pivot side to side, wobbles all around, so you get a good motion there. Arms can go full 360, up and out about that far, rotation at the bicep, single bend at the elbow, rotation at the elbow, rotation at the wrist, as well as a hinge at the wrist. There does seem to be a ball peg in the crotch that goes into his chest area, so give him some upper torso movement, so that rolls around, does rotate, pivot side to side, and crunches back and forth a bit, so that works out really nice. And this whole front shell area is pretty soft, so it helps with that. Hip joystick kick forward that far, back about that much, splits all the way out, rotation in the upper thigh, single bend at the knee like that, see, rotates at the knee like so, ankles go up, down, and a very, very good ankle rocker. One thing I will say with this particular figure, a lot of the other ones in this line, the wrists felt kind of loose. The wrists on this one feel really tight, so that's really good, but the hip joints feel kind of loose. Like, that's a little too wobbly for my taste, you know what I mean? So I'm hoping that doesn't wear out over time. I feel like that can be pretty bad later on, so I don't know. Just try not to mess with it too much. Hopefully it's just my figure and not a thing across the board here. But still, I love this figure. I genuinely love this figure. I love this entire line so far, and this is barely the first wave. The second and third wave look amazing. I know the fourth wave is going to be revealed soon. That should have Donatello in it, and from what I hear, Muckman, so that's going to be pretty cool. And I'm saying straight up right now, I think I'm all in with the Super7 Ultimates TMNT figures over the NECA stuff. I know, hot take, but that's just how I feel. I have a bigger attachment to the vintage toy line than I do like the animated stuff. So that's just me. I get it. But still, this is incredible. Such a fantastic figure. And if you can still pick him up, find him somewhere, he's totally worth it and a definite must get. So for a quick size comparison, here he is standing next to a Marvel Legends Deadpool and NECA Batman figure. Also for comparison, here he is standing next to the vintage Raphael figure from Playmates. And for even more comparison, here he is standing next to the Toon Raphael from NECA and SH Figuarts Raphael. And for even more comparison, here he is standing next to all the other figures from this wave that I've already previously reviewed. And just for fun, Here he is with little Lego Bat Bomb. So there it is, guys, my review of the Ultimates Raphael. Now overall, I am truly blown away at how well Super7 is doing with this line. Yes, this is just the first wave, but man, this is a really rad first wave. All 4 figures are so incredible and so well done. Yes, we have some issues with loose joints here and there, and that is a problem that I do hope they fix along the way. But that aside, the sculpts, the paint apps, the amount of accessories, everything that we're getting here just stands out as a really cool toy line, and this Raphael is proof of that. We just get a ton of awesome stuff with that. His alternate head looks really cool. The fact that we get 3 versions of his Psy is really crazy, and just everything about him is awesome and the perfect Raphael toy that I've wanted ever since I was a kid, and he's finally here, and he's really freaking awesome. So if you can find him, I know he's sold out pretty much everywhere, but definitely pick him up. He is truly worth it and would be great in any of your TMNT collections. So please comment, like, and subscribe. Stay nerdy, my friends. Peace.